chance, he gave me a chance. Thank him in advance, cause he broke the trance. I've been through a lot, wasn't happenstance. Now I ain't looking back, not a second glance. Going and I'm flowing, I'm knowing I cannot hold. Frank him up on my crown, I pray that he protect my thoughts. So you the soul to the earth, or be earth the pillar of salt. No, get off me, not faulty, I'm swarthy, I don't swear with thoughts. Son unto my own, I had to pick up my cross. Will you follow the hallowed or be swallowed for going off? Is it Torah or Korah? My aura can't ignore the boss. And this faith that will lead you, have you count the cost? I done told you once, do I have to tell you twice? Embody, you are a living sacrifice. Like Christ had died when our debt was amortized. You may end up in the mortuary or be mortified. I ain't bowing to no man, man, I'm Mordecai. Patience of the saints, yeah, how wish I we standing by. Under your judgment, the commandments, my alibi. I'm so serious when you see me, just look into my eyes. Yeah, they do things I held them up like Orion. Then Abba put the iron, they became prey to a lion. Still ain't wanna hear, then got tackled by a bear. Groups touching, ain't budging for bed to idol, God they swear. Still ignore the shepherd, then got spotted by the leopard. Believed in the conjecture, transgressors throughout their records. Till this very day, getting trampled by the ego. Your ego is the reason we cannot rise as a people. Do it for my sister and do it for my brethren. Every word I'm telling should stick in your melon. Despite all the tension in this name I mention, these words I haven't sent. Repent, so please pay attention.
Peace and blessings and shalom to the family. Shalom to my family, and welcome to another edition of Maccabees TV, impromptu version, of course. This is your brother Priest Dan, Lions of Israel, representing Maccabees TV. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching this on YouTube, everyone that's watching this on Facebook, and those that will watch it in the future. This wasn't a planned video. However, the reason why I'm going live, actually, brothers and sisters, is because, we've been having some conversations on this channel over the past couple of weeks, and we're seeing the conversations that we had playing out right in front of our eyes. The election was Tuesday, and tomorrow is Saturday, most High will. And they have not called the election for one candidate or another, which is exactly what we said on this channel here. And those of you that are regular subscribers, you know that we already said this. And it's playing out right in front of our eyes. It kind of was obvious anyway. So the reason for this impromptu broadcast, and before I get to that, as always, if you are in the house, I would ask my brothers and sisters if you could please hit the like button, or I'm going to add something else that I'm going to say, even if you want to hit the dislike button. Either way, the algorithm is triggered and more people can get notification that we're live, and they can come in and join the conversation now or later. All right. By the way, for those of y'all that were watching the video I just played, that's my brother Awkwards from AOC, Florida. The brother's fire, he's a fire spitter. So I just wanted to show that brother some love. That's a good brother. I'll probably play the video at the end of this broadcast as well. So I just wanted to talk to you, brothers and sisters, about a possible scenario. We're not prophesying anything. We don't really know how this thing is going to turn out. But we do know certain things. I always tell you, brothers and sisters, there are certain laws on the books that sometimes lay dormant until certain things arise. And then those laws that are on the books that are otherwise not used are implemented, and we begin to see them, right? One of those laws that's on the books is something called the Insurrection Act. And I think it's important we familiarize ourselves with this Insurrection Act because the same way that we saw in the spirit that nobody was going to be declared president days after the election, maybe even going into a week or longer, is the same thing that we can kind of see the handwriting on the wall of how this thing is going to go. And it is a prelude to why, if you've been a long time subscriber to this channel, why we've been talking about preparation so much on this channel for extended periods where you may not be able to leave your house. So let's talk about this Insurrection Act just for a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Real quick, before I do that, let me just give a couple of shout outs to my people that's in the house. I see the moderator Mika in the building, of course. Corey One of a Kind, of course. Nugget. Who else is in the building? Yael, Yehosef, Obadiah, Augustus Kane, my brother. Shout out to my family. Thank you to everybody that subscribes and that shows love to the channel. And once again, if you're watching, hit the like button. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen because I don't intend on this broadcast being long. And I know what y'all saying. You always say that. I don't intend on it. Never do. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's get right to it. Okay. Let's share. Okay. Oops. There we go. All right, brothers and sisters. Let's start here. There's something on the books that's been on the books since 1807. So what we're going to do is we're going to toggle between two tabs. We're going to familiarize ourselves with those that don't know with what is called the Insurrection Act of 1807. And we're also going to toggle also over quickly to the Posse Comitatus Act as well, just to familiarize ourselves with both, because we're living in a time where we're going to begin possibly to see these acts enacted. Okay, so let's start with the Insurrection Act. This is on Wikipedia, but of course you can find this anywhere. You can do your own research on this. The Insurrection Act of 1807 is a United States federal law. It's 10 USC. It's filed under 10 USC 251-255. Prior to 2016, it was filed under 10 USC 331-335, amended 2006-2007, that empowers the President of the United States to deploy U.S. military and federalize national troops within the United States in particular circumstances as to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, and rebellion. So the president has the right under the Insurrection Act of 1807 to deploy national troops. They can deploy U.S. military, and they can also federalize the National Guard in your state and make them fall under the jurisdiction of the U.S. military, right? Let's read the second paragraph. The act provides a statutory exception to the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878. So what is the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878? Let's read that. The Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 is a United States federal law filed under 18 USC 1385, original at 20, statute 152, signed on June 18, 1878 by President Rutherford B. Hayes, which limits the power of the federal government in the use of federal military personnel to enforce domestic policies within the United States. The act was passed as an amendment to an Army Appropriations Bill following the end of the Reconstruction and was updated in 1956 and 1981. So at the end of the Reconstruction, they came with this act, the Posse Comitatus Act, said the U.S. military could not come in and settle domestic disputes. You had to use the National Guard. Hopefully everybody's understanding and staying with me. That's called the Posse Comitatus Act. However, that was signed in 1878. However, the Insurrection Act of 1807 overrides that. So the President of the United States, whomever he may be, has the right to override the Posse Comitatus Act. And rather than the National Guard, in the case of your governor deploying the National Guard in case of some type of insurrection, some type of riot, whatever, you might see the National Guard in your streets. No, in certain cases, the president can override that and send in the military to patrol the streets and federalize the National Guards in your state. Why is that important? You might say, well, why is that important, Breeze? What does that have to do with anything? Well, in case you're living under a rock, Donald Trump already threatened back in June to institute the Insurrection Act during the time when people were going out, Antifa mainly, and rioting and looting in cities across America. He already told you that he is willing to do what? He's willing to invoke the Insurrection Act and deploy the military in American streets to patrol and take over. He already said that. Now we find out. Well, let's listen first.
Donald Trump has threatened to use America's federal military to end protests that have gripped dozens of US cities over the death of George Floyd and police brutality.
If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them.
That is the Insurrection Act that he's talking about invoking. All of this is relevant. Why? Because there's been no deciding factor yet in this election that we're in the middle of right now. The election was Tuesday. Today is Friday. We're going into Saturday, and nobody is happy. Nobody's happy. And no matter how this thing goes, somebody's going to be mad. There's going to be a problem somewhere. And this guy is willing to call in the military to deal with it. Let's listen again.
If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them.
To do this, the president would need to invoke a group of laws known as the Insurrection Act, which dates from 1807.
So that's what we've been talking about. So we're going to come back to the article and we're going to continue to read. We're going to start from the second paragraph again. It says the act provides a statutory exception to Posse Comitatus Act of 1878, which under that act forbids the U.S. military to patrol the streets. But the president can override that, which limits the use of military personnel under federal command for law enforcement purposes in the United States. Before invoking the powers under the Act, 10 U.S.C. 254 requires the president to first publish a proclamation, which you just saw him do. We just saw Donald Trump do that during the time of the George Floyd protests. He made a proclamation and said, if the governors and mayors don't get things under control, I'm sending in the troops. That was the proclamation, all right? Could happen again. We're in a time right now where that could happen again. Nobody's happy with what's going on in this election, right? Let's continue. Give me 1 second. 1 second, family. I apologize. All right. We're going to start from the third paragraph again. Before invoking the powers under the Act, 10 U.S.C. 254 requires the president to first publish a proclamation ordering the insurgents to disperse. We just saw that. As part of the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878, these provisions are now codified and amended. There are constitutional exceptions to Posse Comitatus restrictions rooted in the president's own constitutional authority. Defense Department guidelines describe Homeland Defense as a constitutional exception. Homeland Defense as a constitutional exception to Posse Comitatus restriction, meaning the measures necessary to guarantee national security from external threats are not subject to the same limitations. So if he deems it as something that is a matter of homeland defense, he can override Posse Comitatus and institute the Insurrection Act of 1807. Now let's scroll down a little bit. I want to come down to this portion of the article right here. Now, the Insurrection Act has been instituted a few times, more than a few times, by many presidents. Let's go down the list a little bit and let's see some of the times it was instituted. It was instituted April 19th, 1808 by Thomas Jefferson, The Insurrection Act was instituted by Andrew Jackson in 1831 during Nat Turner's slave rebellion. Andrew Jackson did it again during the labor dispute of Chesapeake in 1834. You have Ulysses Grant did it in 1871. He did it again in 1872. He did it again in 1874. Rutherford B. Hayes did it in 1878. Grover Cleveland did it in 1894. Woodrow Wilson did it in 1914. Herbert Hoover in 1932. Franklin Roosevelt did it in 1943 during the Detroit riots. Eisenhower did it in 57 to protect the Little Rock Nine when they were trying to integrate the schools in Little Rock, Arkansas. Kennedy did it at the Ole Miss riot of 1962. He did it again 1963. He did it again to enforce desegregation in 1963 again. One was June 11th, one was September 10th. Lyndon Johnson did it 1965 for the Selma marches. He did it in 1967 for another Detroit riot. He did it in 1968 3 times. George Bush did it during Hurricane Hugo in George Bush 1. He did it during Hurricane Hugo in 1989, and he did it during the Los Angeles riots in 1992. 1992 is the last time that the Insurrection Act has been used. And so we're living in a time now where the outcome of this election is being drawn out. And I don't know about you, but the more that this thing is drawn out, the people that I work with, I'm listening to the conversation, they're becoming more and more antsy by the day. And you have a lot of chatter online about how the Democratic Party is stealing the election, fake votes being used, fake ballots being used, right? Mail-in ballots being thrown away. You have all these different narratives that are being spun both on mainstream media and on social media, which is fanning the flames, at least where I am. That's what I hear all day long. They got Biden. He's been stuck on 254 electoral votes for at least 24 hours, if not longer than that. And Trump has been stuck on 214 electoral votes for at least the last 2 days, if not longer. And it's not moving. It's a stalemate. And Trump has how many lawsuits going on right now in how many states? Right? Saying that there was all types of election fraud that was going on. So there's a very possibility of some type of insurrection, some type of riot, some type of civil unrest that could go on. And what I'm trying to show y'all is that they already have these laws in place and they have already used them before. So it's not new. It's not new. So you must be aware of that. And the longer this thing drags out, is the worse that it's going to be. And I'm hearing a lot of other things, but it's speculation, it's conspiracy and stuff like that. So I'm not going to share, some of the things that I listen to on social media with you guys because there's no validity to it other than people just saying it. But the bottom line is we know that the longer this thing stretches out, it's not a good thing. And how does that affect you, brothers and sisters? It affects you, brothers and sisters, just like we've been telling you for God knows how long, that anything at any time could pop off. It may not pop off everywhere, right? Like, let's just say hypothetically, I'll give you a quick hypothetical situation. I'm in the Northeast, right? I spend most of my time in New York and New Jersey, which are what they call so-called blue states. So if Biden wins the election, the places that I am there won't be any problems. I said probably. I didn't say definitely. There probably won't be any problems because the people will be happy. But if you live somewhere where it's not so cut and dry, then you might be in a zone where there's some problems. There might be some people that go out and riot and do different things because they're upset with the election, the results of the election. You're going to have whole groups of people that's going to say the election was stolen, the ballots were thrown away, they used fake ballots, blah, blah, blah. There's all types of things. Like one thing I'm hearing, I'll give y'all one that I'm hearing is that a lot of the ballots have what they call a watermark on them. And they're saying that some of these fake ballots that have been brought in, there's no watermark on it. That's what they're saying. I don't put no stock in it left or right, one way or another, because I don't have no horse in this race. If Biden gets in, he's the devil and he's the enemy. If Trump stays in, he's the devil, he's the enemy. So I don't have no horse in this race. But at the same time, I do live in this world, right? And so do you. And so the people, those of our people that's caught up in the system on one side or another, and there's a lot of black people that's on the Trump side, man. I had a brother, I sent him a video today. I should have queued it up before I went live, but I'll do it for y'all next time, where I had a black Trump supporter. This dude was more radical than the white ones. It's crazy. All right. So you might be in a hot zone. That's why we've been telling brothers and sisters the things that we've been telling you, not because we don't have faith, not because the Most High can't deliver us, not because we think that anything that we do or prepare is going to deliver us. That's not why we're telling you what we're telling you. But it's going to get hot out here it's going to get hot out here in a minute. And we just wanted brothers and sisters to be prepared for these eventualities. That's why we do what we do. That's why we say what we say, because if things don't go Trump's way, he might very well invoke the Insurrection Act. Because this dude he's saying that they're cheating. This is what he's saying. And I must admit, I don't know what y'all see. I must admit, I'm seeing this dude, they're on Biden's side. I'm seeing him gaining hundreds of thousands of votes, and Trump's numbers staying. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on, man. Am I the only one seeing that stuff? Y'all let me know, man. Am I the only person seeing some of this crazy stuff that's going on? If you see some of the crazy stuff that I'm seeing, you put one in the chat. Kenya L. Rakia said, if Biden wins, there's going to be problems in Michigan. You better believe it. Hey, they already was talking about kidnapping y'all governor and all that. Those right-wing militias, they were talking about kidnapping your governor and all that. Can you imagine? That's what the mainstream media is saying, Corey, one of a kind, that he done caught up and he's leading. But you guys have to be, you gotta, let me see something. If I can find it, I'm gonna show y'all. There's definitely a lot of I'm gonna use the phrase skullduggery that's going on. There's a lot of skullduggery that's going on in this thing. I got to tell you. I'm seeing it, and I can't even deny some of the stuff that I'm seeing. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not making no sense. 1 second, y'all. Let me see if I can find something. I only wanted to show y'all about the Insurrection Act, the Posse Comitatus. So I didn't really have a lot of stuff queued up. Let me see if I can find let's see if I can find any videos, because people send me stuff all day long, and now that I'm actually looking for it, I'm not gonna be able to find it. I already know. But yeah, there's a lot of skullduggery that's going on, and 1 second, yo. See if I can find. There's one particular channel. Here we go. Let me see something. I may have found it. Give me 1 second, y'all. Just bear with brother 1 second. I'm gonna show you guys something that I was looking at. Nah, it's not coming up. It's not coming up. But I was watching a video with a lot of so-called election fraud. How they were so-called weren't allowing the people that were there that were supposed to be overseeing the counts, blah blah blah. They were being put out. I'm sure you guys have seen it. You probably don't even need me to even show you this stuff. It's out there. So yeah, I really wanted you brothers and sisters to be aware of that law that's on the books called the Insurrection Act. And at any time, this guy could activate the national military and federalize the National Guard. And that's the next level. We always talk about martial law and stuff like that. That's just an executive order away. Okay, so let me see. 1 second. Yeah, some of these videos are getting pulled down, so I don't know. One second. You know what we'll do? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back probably, Lord willing, on Sunday. I'm gonna get all the videos together. But I know you guys are already hearing it, so you probably don't even need me to do it. But let's do this one. Nah, not even. Yeah, family. So, let's see what's going on in the chat. My bad. I was trying to see if I could find something. Anybody from Georgia up in here? Anybody from Georgia? Anybody from Pennsylvania up in here? Any supporters of QAnon up in here? You QAnon supporters? I done explained to y'all what that is already. So I'm just curious if any of you QAnon supporters are in here. That's what I need to know. Are there any QAnon supporters in here? Let me see something. Let's do this. One second. Wake up and everything. One second, y'all. See if I can find some. I'm about to show y'all something. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show y'all something. Look at this. Look at this craziness right here. Let me show y'all something. We're gonna watch a little bit of this. This is what I'm talking about. If you don't know what QAnon is, I already explained it. I want you to see how crazy this world is we're living in right now. This dude is supposed to be a pastor. Check this out. Check this out. I was showing this to somebody earlier. He was bugging, so he already saw it. Oh my goodness, man! We live in a crazy world. Let me show y'all something. Please. Hope I don't get flagged, right? This dude, his name is Prime Minister. This dude is a pastor, right? He's a pastor, and he's also a Trump supporter, and he believes in this whole QAnon's conspiracy that Trump was selected by the military to take down the deep state and the Illuminati, so forth and so on. So we're gonna pick up the video. I was trying to just tease through it to see. I should have wrote down timestamps because I was watching it earlier, me and another brother, and we was laughing. But this dude is dead serious. I want you to listen to what this guy is saying. Just listen so y'all can understand how crazy the world is. It is that we're living in right now. This is a crazy world, upside down. The Bible says, "Surely the Most High, the turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, because the Lord is the potter. He's gonna turn things right side up." This is almost over, man. Listen to this guy right here. Listen.
Sit down. I think they keep shutting my page down. We're influencing people. Tesla had 1K waiting. My riches come from within. Hey, God bless you, Sister Grace. She said, my riches come from within. God bless you. God wants us to be blessed on earth. This is going to be a time of blessings in the earth. Okay, and the Sarah, you know, yeah, we talking about spiritual riches, but we talking about earthly riches as well, earthly treasures.
So in case you guys don't know what Nesera and Gesera is, the NESRA and the GESRA, that's supposedly a so-called financial reset. Those are the acronyms. All right. National, whatever, NESERA. I forget what the whole acronym stands for right now off the top of my head, but you have Nesera and you have Gesera, which is a financial reset. And this dude is this dude is a pastor, and he's talking about this is prophecy and it's biblical. This dude is crazy. You can see the big Trump sign behind him. But listen.
I'm not talking about greed, but God is going to bless, man. Mankind and the earth. It's not going to be any debt.
This dude is saying Trump is the Messiah. Let me just be anticlimactic. This dude is saying Trump is the Messiah, and he's a pastor. Yes, listen.
You know, it's going to be a time of prosperity, man. We're entering into a shift, and this particular generation. And let me just say this for the people who really don't understand the reason why God is allowing this wealth transfer, because in the Bible, I'm pretty sure you heard the term, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. You've been saying that in church your whole life, right? You know, the wealth of the wicked, is laid up for the just, Lord bless us with some money. You've been praying, y'all got to rock side to side like this. Yeah. You've been doing that at church all your life. The wealth of the wicked, is laid up for the just, right? Well, that's the zero to zero. I'm just trying to help you make some biblical connections, and I feel that might be one of my, you know, major contributions to.
He said Nesera and Gesera, which is the financial reset. He's making a biblical comparison. He's telling you that that's Bible prophecy. This is straight trash. Listen.
A shift, and this particular generation. And let me just say this for the people who really don't understand the reason why God is allowing this wealth transfer, because in the Bible, I'm pretty sure you heard the term, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. You've been saying that in church your whole life, right? You know, the wealth of the wicked, is laid up for the just, Lord bless us with some money. You've been praying, y'all got to rock side to side like this. Yeah. You've been doing that at church all your life. The wealth of the wicked, is laid up for the just, right? Well, that's the zero to zero. I'm just trying to help you make some biblical connections, and I feel that might be one of my, you know, major contributions to this movement, is to help people to understand that Trump represents the coming of the Lord.
What? Wait. You missed it. You missed it. Yeah, you missed it. Yeah, I'm yelling. Did you hear what this nigga said? He said Trump represents the coming of the Lord. I told you this QAnon shit is crazy. Y'all missed it. You missed it because he said it real fast. Let's go back. Niggas is crazy. Niggas is crazy. Listen again.
That in church your whole life, right? You know, the wealth of the wicked, is laid up for the just, Lord bless us with some money. You've been praying, y'all got to rock side to side like this. Yeah. You've been doing that at church all your life. The wealth of the wicked, is laid up for the just, right? Well, that's the zero to zero. I'm just trying to help you make some biblical connections, and I feel that might be one of my, you know, major contributions to this movement, is to help people to understand that Trump represents the coming of the Lord. He is the trumpet of God, and the trumpet comes before the king.
Okay. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Y'all heard that? Okay. That's the crazy stuff that's going on in this world right now, man. And these people, listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm going to play it one more time. Listen to what your brother Priest Dan is trying to tell you. Listen to what I'm telling you. These people right here, they believe that Trump is the second coming of the Lord. Trump is the trumpet that's going to lead us into the new kingdom. That's why his name is Trump. Y'all thought I made that up when I was saying that? But they believe this thing. So when this guy loses the election, possibly, they're going to go crazy. They're going to go crazy. And there are millions of these people. Look up QAnon, QAnon, QAnon. There are millions just like him. Oh, y'all ain't been paying attention. Some of y'all didn't know what QAnon was, but you done found out today. Let me share my screen again because some of y'all missed that thing. Play it one more time. This thing, the rabbit hole goes way deeper than what you seen on the 6 o'clock news. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on up in here. Listen to what I'm telling you one more time. Listen to a boy. And yes, I told y'all this dude is a so-called ordained pastor. Okay? He said Trump is the second coming.
A shift, And this particular generation, and let me just say this for the people who really don't understand the reason why God is allowing this wealth transfer, because in the Bible, I'm pretty sure you heard the term, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. You've been saying that in church your whole life, right? You know, the wealth of the wicked, is laid up for the just, Lord bless us with some money. You've been praying, y'all got to rock side to side like this. Yeah. You've been doing that at church all your life. The wealth of the wicked, is laid up for the just, right? Well, that's the zero to zero. I'm just trying to help you make some biblical connections, and I feel that might be one of my, major contributions to this movement, is to help people to understand that Trump represents the coming of the Lord. He is the trumpet of God, and the trumpet comes before the king. The trumpet precedes the king. Before the king walks in the room, the trumpet goes off and everything stops. And that's what the trumpet of God is. Trump is the trumpet of the Lord.
Okay, so you heard it here first. Trump is the trumpet of the Lord. Y'all all right, man? Are y'all all right? Yeah, right. he got a heart-shaped necklace on, man. That dude is a pastor, y'all. I'm not kidding. And yeah, I'll be watching this stuff because that dude is crazy. But you know what? He has a lot of people that follow him, and there's millions and millions of people like him. And these are the people that if Trump is supposed to be the trumpet of God, he's preceding the coming of the king and all that. They believe this thing with every fiber of their body. If he loses this election, right? I'm not prophesying, I'm just saying somebody's gonna be mad. That's just some interesting stuff, just some things that make you go, that's all. So I thought I would share that with y'all. That's it. She said her head just popped. Yeah, bugged out, right? Yeah, I know all about it. Right. Yeah, real quick, let's just end it with a scripture, obviously, right? One second. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 23. And let's end it here. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's end it with a scripture, right? Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 23 says, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and the multitude of mountains. Truly the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel. The Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, is the salvation of Israel. Us looking to anybody, especially somebody like Donald Trump, to lead us into this coming new age that they're talking about is in vain, because these nations cannot save us. They cannot help us. We have to trust and believe in the Most High through his son. That is how we're going to be delivered. So we always have to keep that in mind. But there's a lot of crazy people in the world, and there's a lot of crazy things that's going on, family. And I just like to come on every now and then and just show y'all what's happening in the world. He said, you're not going to call him a brother, he's nuts. Yeah, well. Yeah. Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all hit that like button, because y'all surely have been stingy lately. Hit that like button, show your brother Priest Dan some love. And with that, I'm going to see y'all real soon. I got some more fire coming. And I say, peace.
He gave me a chance, Thank him in advance, cause he broke the trance. I've been through a lot, wasn't happenstance. Now I ain't looking back, not a second glance. Going and I'm flowing, I'm knowing I cannot hold. Frank him up on my crown, I pray that he protect my thoughts. So you the salt of the earth, or be earth the pillar of salt. No, get off me, not faulty, I'm swarthy, I don't swear with thoughts. Son unto my own, I had to pick up my cross. Will you follow the hallowed or be swallowed for going off? Is it Torah or Korah? My aura can't ignore the boss. And this faith that will lead you, have you count the cost? I done told you once, do I have to tell you twice? Embody, you are a living sacrifice. Like Christ had died when our debt was amortized. You may end up in the mortuary or be mortified. I ain't bowing to no man, man, I'm Mordecai. Patience of the saints, yeah, how wish I be standing by. Under your judgment, the commandments, my alibi. I'm so serious when you see me, just look into my eyes. Yeah, they dwelt in Zion, yeah, held them up like Orion. Then Abba put the iron, they became prey to a lion. Still ain't wanna hear, then got tackled by a bear. Groups touching ain't budging for bed to idol, God they swear. Still ignore the shepherd, then got spotted by the leopard. Believe in the conjecture, transgressors throughout their records. Till this very day, getting trampled by the ego. Your ego is the reason we cannot rise as a people. Do it for my sister and do it for my brethren. Every word I'm telling should stick in your melon. Despite all the tension in this name I mention, these words I haven't sent. Repent, so please pay attention.